Let's make it a good day.
Coming up today, is it the one that we want? A Grease prequel series is in the works. What will it be about? And will Danny and Sandy show up? We have it in the hot dish. Then it is not too late to have a cut flower garden. Garden guru Dale Kay and Kendall are showing you how to do it. And from get-togethers to pride parties, you are showing us your weekend. Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Good morning, Cloquet. Good morning, Egan. And good morning to the WBL. That's White Bear Lake, y'all. And welcome to the Jason Show. I'm Jace. Hello. And please say hello. Oh, look, the city's behind me. And please say hello to my sidekick sister from another mister and Arby's Employee of the Month, Kendall Mark, everyone.
Hello. Hello.
There she is.
Hello.
Oh, no.
Hello.
Wonder if the systems are crashing.
My hellos were just long enough to give you plenty of time for your backdrop to change.
Perfect. Oh, look at that. Look how good Leo is.
Professional.
Professional. Leo is a professional. What? Oh! Did you hear executive producer Jeffy goes, if Leo was good, he would have had it done the first time.
No, I was talking about us being great.
Oh,
because
okay.
we just stalled long enough to change it.
To
that
change
we
the
told
background.
all of you how we did it.
How was your weekend, my dear friend?
Let me tell you, it was fantastic.
You, correct me if I'm wrong, we just played our theme song done by the great guys of Yam House. You're going to talk about that a little later.
Yep.
You were with them.
I was.
Yeah.
Saturday night.
That's right. You made it a good day.
Made it a
no
good
pun
day.
intended.
Mm-hmm.
I posted thirst traps. No, So here's the deal. I've been posting a lot more photos lately.
Yep.
In the realm of body positivity. You and I have this in common where we struggle with self-image, we struggle with body issues like a lot of you.
Hello.
I was a puffy kid. I'll battle weight my entire life. But this all happened, let me just tell you, we were sitting around during vacation and Colin was getting annoyed by all of these Instagram accounts with these couples that are like perfect. You know, like they look perfect, they have 0% body fat, they wear skinny, and all they're doing is posting with themselves in front of businesses and whatever, and they're making a gajillion dollars.
Right.
And Colin said, wouldn't it be funny if we did an Instagram account called Average Gay Couple of just average guys with average bodies, like eating pizza at midnight in my gross night shirt, you know what I mean?
Pizza that you'll actually eat, unlike those people that post about it.
And just, instead of laying by the pool with no % body fat, I'll just show, just an average body. Well, I said, we're not going to do that. I don't need another account. But what I did do was I said, but that's a good idea. We should post more photos of us just being body positive. So over the weekend, did we get the photo? I think Jeff made it because he's that good. I posted this photo. Now, you're thinking there's nothing special about that, but this is no joke. I'm 46 years old, and I've never worn a tank top in my life. Never worn a tank top because it's always been embarrassing to me. I haven't thought I could do it because I think that I'm not attractive or whatever. So it was a moment, I bought that very, very not loud tank top at Disney's Aulani when I was there a couple weeks ago, and I love that tank top, and Colin said, don't buy it, you're never gonna wear it, it's gonna be a waste of money. And I wore it, and I'm like, you know what, it's pretty cute, you know? So I put it on, and I took that photo, and I'm like, I'm gonna post this for everybody like me that just, you're just average, and you eat pizza and you eat chicken fingers and you eat carbs and you're just an average person. And so I've been doing that more, not just for myself, but for other people that feel the same way.
Well, to be clear, you're not average. You look fantastic.
Thank you, sweetie.
But number two, I do think it's important that like we talk about this all the time. We eat pretty healthy.
Yeah.
We sweat an hour a day just to look average.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
most of you at home must do the same thing.
Exactly.
You know, it's like, who are you freakish people?
But I did feel a little Martha Stewart thirst trappy.
Oh, it was hot.
You know, because I posted like on my Instagram, I did post a picture of in the pool. I was imitating Martha. I was shirtless. Never done that. I'm not Sven. You know, I don't do that. But I did it. I'm like, you know what? This is 46, and I'm okay with it.
I thought you looked hot.
Thank you, girl. Let's get started. Speaking of hot, it's time for the hot dish. Roll it, Leo. Prequels are so hot right now. Did that make you laugh? I did it in my Valley Girl voice. Prequels are so hot right now, girl. Paramount Plus has greenlit a new series based on what, you ask? The movie Grease. It's called Rise of the Pink Ladies and will be set 4 years before the movie. And it's going to follow the 4 ladies, Rizzo, Jan, Marty, and Frenchie. Now, this is separate from the prequel movie they're making called Summer Loving, which will tell the story of how Danny first met Sandy. HBO Max originally had the rights to the series, but Paramount Plus bought it from them. I'm not going to tell you why. You don't care. And it'll be so boring, your eyes will roll in the back of your head and you'll pass out. But here's my thing. I love Grease, the property. It's a great musical. Obviously, it's a classic movie. I don't know if we need all of these projects about Grease. This is, you know what this is? Greedy corporations with their intellectual properties going, how much can we take from the teat? You know what I mean? How much can we squeeze out of this cow?
Yep.
You know? Seriously. How much money can we make? We have Grease, we have these characters. Let's make 50 things about it. We don't want it. Because it's going to dilute the actual property.
Well, right.
All of this crap is going to just going to dilute your already great movie. Leave it alone.
And by the way, Summer Lovin', which is not what we just talked about, but the prequel movie.
The prequel movie.
Don't we already know how they met? Like, there's a whole song about it.
Like
they say how they met in the
song. Danny told us on the bleachers.
I mean, we know what happened.
They met down by the ocean, didn't they?
Yeah, and there was a bit of an argument about what happened, but it happened.
It happened. I don't know.
I
just don't. And I love Grease. I'm not hating on the Grease. I like it.
Right.
But and then that's and correct me if I'm wrong, that's a dumb title too. It sounds like something from George Lucas. Rise of the Pink Ladies.
You gave it, well, that was mostly because you gave it that spin.
But it is Rise of the Pink Ladies. It's like Attack of the Clones.
Well, they're saying that it's because the Pink Ladies weren't cool. They were all kind of tired of not being cool, so they made themselves cool. So that's where they're going.
What's the next show going to be called? Grease Lightning Strikes Back?
I see what you did there.
Thanks. You like that?
Yeah, it's good.
Next in the dish, one of our favorites, Marilyn Maye, was featured on CBS Sunday Morning yesterday. The singer visited us at the age of 90 before she performed at Kroner's. She's now 93, and after being shut down during the pandemic, she's back to performing. Look at this.
But Maye's home has always been the road, and 2020 was shaping up to be a big year for her.
I was booked a lot, more than even usual. I think they thought the old girl was going to kick off any minute, so we better hire her. You know.
But as COVID spread, so did the cancellations.
It was pretty dramatic for me and traumatic for me.
Traumatic.
Yeah. This is what I do. This is kind of my whole being, is to entertain and sing that great American songbook. This is what I was put on this earth to do. I can't cook. They always smile and applaud a lot and stand up and cheer and laugh a lot. But this year they cried. I did what the world needs now.
Yep, you are, Marilyn. Again, all these Instagram people are just they're famous because they posed in front of a bridge. That's talent right there. Marilyn appeared on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson 76 times and was nominated for a Grammy in 1966 for Best New Artist. 1966, Best New Artist. She was a delight. Were you here? I always forget if it was the Shane era or your era.
This was my era. I don't know if I was there that day because I don't remember the interview. I watched it and I was like, I felt like I would remember
thank you for
that.
watching our show when you're off. I appreciate that.
I was prepping for the show, so I watched the show.
Look at that. Yeah, I don't watch the show when I'm there. Anyway, I do. I watch to support you.
Well, thank
welcome.
you.
No, but Marilyn was so great. Marilyn was just, she answered all of my nerd questions about Carson. She stayed here, and she was fascinating and talented. Again, as we said, that's talent.
Well, they showed a segment, the full special. She's high kicking.
Yes.
Like she was in her either in her late 80s or turning 90 at that point. Like
I can't
so
pick up
cool.
a pencil. I can't pick up a pencil off the
true.
floor.
It's true.
I groan and moan. I just did it a few minutes. You just heard me before the show started.
It's very true. He has back problems.
Yeah. That the massage person in Hawaii did not fix.
Ugh, rude. But you'll have to go back.
No. Next in the dish, movie theaters are not happy with Disney. Following the debut of Black Widow, Disney decided to simultaneously premiere it in theaters and on their streaming service, Disney+. The movie opened to $80 million at the box office and an additional $60 million on Disney+. Disney claimed victory, saying the model was a success. But the theaters say Disney left money on the table. Without the hybrid release, the theaters say the movie could have had a much larger opening weekend. You know me, I love Disney, I love the mouse, but I have no problem taking them apart when they need to, and the theater owners are absolutely right. 60 million. Look, there's a lot of Marvel fans who decided to watch it at home because of the convenience. If that wasn't an option, they would have went to the theaters. Look, I like the convenience too. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I love this era where you can just stay on your couch and press the button. That's amazing.
Right.
But the theater owners have a point. I would be mad too if I were General Cinema. Oh, General Cinema. What is this? 1984. I would be mad if AMC or Care Sodas or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a point.
No, it is true. And they've been closed for so long.
Yeah.
It's like, hello, we've always helped you, you help us. What happened to that?
You scratch our back, we'll scratch yours.
Duh.
We'll force people to pay $80 for a bucket of popcorn.
Hey.
Everything's great.
It's fine.
That's right. The show will continue to be fine after these messages. Back in a moment, everyone. The dish isn't done. Coming up next, think you've heard every concept for a singing competition show? Well, think again. We have the 411 on Alter Ego just ahead. Then, the stories behind some of the most successful sitcoms in history. From Lucy to Friends, it's the history of sitcoms. And Dale K is back to tell us and show us why it is not too late in the season for that cut flower garden.
I think I killed Dale K.
That and more when we return.
I just want to give you the floor to talk about Erica Jane for a moment. You had a fierce defense of her. I would like to hear what you're thinking about her, and you have a message for the viewers about her.
She has handled herself with as much class and dignity and grace as you possibly can under scrutiny, probably the most scrutiny that any housewife has ever been under. All you fans, fake fans that have turned your back on this woman who has given you so much for so many years, and you know nothing. She is innocent until proven guilty. How dare you? Shame on you. Free Britney, yes, but free Erica Jane.
Wow. Rappaport, Michael Rappaport, defending Erica Jane on Watch What Happens Live. I don't know, Rappaport, I like you. And I love Erica. I'm just not sure. I have to be honest. I don't know. I've always loved her, but there's just too much that we don't know yet.
Right.
That I'm a little skeptical. I shall wait.
I've not done enough research on the subject to have an educated opinion. That's what I was told when I was a kid if I didn't want to answer the question.
Oh, that's good. You learned that from the judge, didn't you?
Yes,
Your
I
dad,
did.
the judge.
Yep.
That's real
Don't perjure
good.
yourself, kid.
That's right. I'm going to pause here and just post another thirst trap. Will you wait just a second? I'm going to
Sure.
post another thirst trap photo.
I'm ready.
There we go, posted. You can see it on my Instagram.
Oh, good.
It's me just laying out here on the floor like Burt
Oh, the
Reynolds
Jason show?
with just a fur. Just so yeah, I'm shirtless and just laying out on the floor like Burt Reynolds. Want those followers, girl. Jason Matheson, just, anything, just like, that would be funny to recreate. Right there, that's the floor I'm laying on right there with the big fur. Anyway. Do you know, that's an old reference. I apologize. Burt Reynolds famously appeared in, what was it, Playboy? Cosmo. Wearing nothing.
Cosmopolitan?
Yeah, he was laying like on a bear, like a bear
Is this
bearskin.
online? Can I
it's
Google
online.
this?
Put Google Burt Reynolds nude, and he's sprawled out on a fur.
Am I allowed to do that on the company
No,
Wi-Fi?
don't do that on the company Wi-Fi, Goober.
Oh, but
I
then
mean,
I
we
gotta
have a new boss, and she's nice,
Burt
but she's not that nice.
Reynolds nude.
Anyway, while Kendall's getting fired, I'll read this. Next in the dish, just when you thought there couldn't be any more singing shows on TV, coming to Fox this fall, a new singing show. Take a look.
This fall, Fox is making television history again. Undiscovered talent get the chance to perform as their avatar alter ego. It's the world's first avatar singing competition series. You have to see to believe. Who will be your alter ego? A new competition series, Wednesdays after The Masked Singer. This fall on Fox.
You work for the company, Jason.
Do I lose my job today?
Exactly.
Or do I just edit? Alter Ego will debut after season 300 of The Masked Singer. It will feature singers performing as their dream avatar or CGI alter ego. The show will use motion capture technology to combine tech and talent. Judges include Alanis Morissette. Why? Grimes, Nick Lachey, and will.i.am. And you can watch it this fall on Fox. This is the point of the show where you read my mind. Okay, there we go. Next in the dish, I sent all of you my transmission so I could keep my job. Next,
He's excited.
I'm very excited for Alter Ego.
Yep.
Next in the dish, Jenna Fisher will always be known as Pam from The Office, and when you're an actress in Hollywood, that's not necessarily a good thing. On her Office Ladies podcast, she talked about shooting a pilot for Man with a Plan with Friends star Matt LeBlanc. Well, listen to this. She lost the role after test audiences couldn't wrap their heads around Pam and Joey as a couple. She found out she was dropped from the show while she was traveling to the upfronts, which is where, you know, the networks put you in front of the advertisers and they decide if they want to run with you. Man with a Plan aired on CBS for 4 seasons. Lisa Snyder eventually took Jenna's role. Well, we just told you about another similar story here on the show. I think it was Friday or something. Remember James Gandolfini was supposed to be in The Office after Carell left. But then HBO gave him like $3 million to turn it down.
Right.
Because HBO didn't want anything softening the image of Mr. Soprano.
Well, and it's true. I mean, I think of like Harry Potter. You don't see Daniel Radcliffe in a lot of movies and stuff because it's like, oh, it's Harry Potter, and it's been over a decade. You know?
Yeah, but you see him in more. I mean, he does more than I would say other people.
That's true.
Yeah, and he likes to break boundaries. He was in that Naked Horse show.
I was just gonna say, wasn't he in a Naked Horse show?
What?
What?
What's it called? Equus. Okay, I couldn't hear you. I have a thing in my ear. Anyway, Equus. He was in there and he was buck naked.
Okay, speaking of which,
Yeah.
never, ever Google Burt Reynolds naked.
Well, I mean, it was the 70s. People laid naked on fur in the 70s.
It's everything, though.
Yeah,
I almost
know.
threw my phone at you. It was terrifying.
Well, don't. I mean, I just said Google that photo. I didn't say look through the gallery.
No, it just is
No.
there.
And by the way, I did not recreate that. I just want to be very clear for legal. But there are other thirst traps available on my Instagram. Just search for Jason Show TV. But no, I'm sorry that you did that. But that was revolutionary back then.
Right.
Men, especially because in the 70s, Burt Reynolds was like the Brad Pitt. I mean, he was everywhere.
Oh, for
sure. I mean,
sure.
he was I actually think he was the top, at that point, he was the top grossing star in Hollywood. Any movie he was in would immediately be a success. Smokey and the Bandit, I mean, it was giant. Didn't they make 2 Smokies? Yeah. Have you ever seen Smokey and the Bandit?
No, what was it, The Longest Yard? That's my Burt Reynolds movie.
Oh, hello,
Adam
40 years
Sandler.
later. But yes, absolutely.
Sorry.
He was the other side of Lonnie Anderson at that point.
But he was very famous and attractive then, too.
Yes, he was. He's a good-looking guy. Next in the dish, the new Anthony Bourdain documentary hit theaters over the weekend, and the director of the film has admitted to doing something a little creepy. Oscar-winning director Morgan Neville has admitted to using artificial intelligence technology to create a voice-over reading from The Late Chef and Adventurer. Apparently, Morgan poured through hundreds of hours of footage and needed to create Anthony's voice for just 3 lines. Critics are blasting the move, saying Anthony would have hated it. Roadrunner, a film about Anthony Bourdain, explores his rise from New York kitchens to worldwide fame. Look, this popped last week. I've thought about this a little bit. At first, I was like, I'm on the fence about it. It's just creepy and unnecessary. It's 3 lines. Why would you do this? You know, if it was like an uncompleted film that Anthony really wanted done, and it was an integral chunk of the movie, maybe. But this, you couldn't have lived without 3 lines, or had somebody else, you know, make a creative decision to have somebody else read the quote. You know what I mean? You could. There's a creative way to do that. I haven't seen the movie, but you could even make it something special, like have a friend of his, a dear friend, read it. I don't know.
It does seem odd, because then who's to say then that he would have been okay with any of that, right? It brings a whole new spin on this idea of, oh, we're going to learn more about Anthony Bourdain, but this is not actually a quote from him, but it's coming out of his mouth.
Well, it's like all of the holograms.
Right.
You know, and I'm not talking Jim. I'm talking all of the, that was an 80s reference for you. I'm talking all of the dead celebrities that come back in hologram form.
And
like
we do
Whitney
concerts.
Houston.
Yeah.
I don't need, and then Tupac they did, and then it was Whitney, and then MJ. I don't want to, look, I don't want to see them. I think it's just, that is so ghastly to me and just so macabre. And they don't look good. Here's the deal. The technology hasn't advanced enough to make it even good.
Right.
You know, look, I was lucky enough to actually see the real Whitney Houston in person in concert. It was my second concert in my life. And you can't and you shouldn't try to recreate that. No. To me, it's a macabre cash grab. When family, and that was greenlit by Houston's family.
Right.
And it didn't look like Whitney.
No, and part of the people's success isn't just their voice or whatever their talent is.
No.
It's their aura. That's how you get to be that big. It's who they are, not this faux version of them.
I remember not speaking to my father on the way home from the Whitney Houston concert.
And why?
Because I wanted a Whitney t-shirt.
Yeah.
And they were like, as concert t-shirts are,
$1 billion.
$400. And he would not buy me one. And the whole way home, I was a complete brat because
Did you cry in the back seat silently?
No, I mean, I was a teenager, so I didn't cry, but I was I was full of tude. I was full of tude. And now, like, concert t-shirts, really? Do you ever really wear them again? Think about that. No,
Yes.
you sometimes do, but not. Do you wear your concert t-shirts?
I have a Britney Spears concert t-shirt that, yes, I wear.
Well, I actually wore one today, but that's not a concert t-shirt.
Didn't you just today?
Yes. I'll wear that in my next thirst trap photo. That's right. We're going to take a break, everybody. We'll be back right after these words. Stay with us. Kendall's over there looking at my Instagram. I gained followers in that segment, Kendall. They all want to see my thirst trap photos. I gained like 14 people. That's how popular I am. Woo, 14! Meanwhile, what does Bieber have? Like 6 million or something? I don't know. No, welcome back, friends. Nothing says summer like freshly picked flowers. Brightening up your dining room, table, or maybe your coffee table. And instead of buying flowers, why not grow your own? Kendall teamed up, you know, I love him so much, with our garden guide, Dale Kay, to visit a flower farm in Lakeville to learn more about growing your own cut garden. Look at this.
We are, I promise you, only like 30 minutes south of the Twin Cities right now, and it's like a different world. Where are we?
We are at Blue Sky Flower Farm. Great little spot.
We're talking about cut gardens, though, because I at least am reading a lot about these. I planted one myself this year. Going interesting for me. Can people still do this? I'm like, what is a cut garden?
Well, it's something that you can grow and then not only enjoy in the garden, but then you can bring those blooms inside your home. So you're kind of getting bang for $2 there. And Rachel and John, they've got this wonderful working farm here where they've got the kind of divided out into annuals over here. We've got some perennials. You can see this wonderful orange asclepias here.
So when you have a cut garden, it can also be a perennial garden technically, because you're just thinking of like what will look good in a vase.
Exactly, exactly. And it's okay to use different types of plants, whether they be annuals, perennials, and then some of the woody plants that make up a really pretty bouquet that you can just harvest from your own garden. Don't have to go to the florist for that.
Very conveniently, Rachel pulled out a bunch of things that we can plant. So you're going to show me like how you actually get it into the ground. That's where this comes in.
That's where this comes in.
Okay, Dale, you told me I can still plant. What do I do?
Okay, so here is the annual part of the operation, and that's what you can still plant now. Yeah, you can plant perennials now, but the timing of different crops really helps you stagger your harvest when it comes to making floral bouquets. We mentioned that mix of annual and perennial. Annual is the one that just blooms for a year, and then the perennial is the one that comes back year after year. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna plant some annuals now.
Okay.
Right over here, we have some cosmos, we have some zinnia, and last but not least, this looks like a little cone flower, a little annual cone flower.
How cute.
Am I planting alone, or are you coming down here too?
No, you're growing alone.
We got our little zinnias. You can start them from seed. You could also buy them from the favorite local garden shop.
How deep do they have to go?
Just at the same depth. If you came down here, you would get to know that a lot. You'd see that.
I can see it just fine.
You're planting them at about the same depth. Now, of course, by crikey, it's been really dry, so the soil's dried. So we're going to irrigate some of this, but we're just going to go down the row and just keep planting.
And eventually, with TV magic, da-da-da-da-da, it looks like this.
Whew, that was a lot of work.
I think I killed Dale K. Okay, so we planted them. They look like little babies. How long does it take them to actually like bloom? I know all flowers are different.
So there's about 10,000 Lysianthus right here, and they were started a few weeks ago, and they're actually going to be ready for harvest in August. And if you're growing from seed, on the back of that seed packet, it'll actually list days to harvest or when they mature. Perennials, you'll know you'll get that one cycle through the growing season. So if you planted now, something that blooms in the fall like sedum, it'll still bloom this fall.
Right.
But really doing a little bit of research on bloom times and then back that into your planting schedule, that will really allow you to know when you're going to be able to harvest your flowers.
And this is the beauty of what you're supposed to do when you're done with your cut garden.
We have iris, peonies, some 9-bark, some lady's mantle, and this is the type of arrangement that you can achieve at home, and you don't have to feel bad about cutting a flower because
Well, that's what I was just saying.
they give so much joy. They give so much joy because look at that. Put that on your table, give that to somebody, and that is joy in a glass of water.
It is. There is something, I don't do it a lot, but there is something great about walking into your house, and not to be all woo-woo, but walking into your house and having fresh flowers on your counter or whatever.
Right.
It adds a little something.
Yeah, I was really inspired to do one of these this year, and Dale was saying if you want it in your backyard, then you feel a little less like people are going to see you just cutting things all the time and filling the vases. But it's expensive to get flowers if you want to do it a lot. So this was just a really cool way to be like, oh, I can make my own arrangement.
Did you do it?
I did. So I have some at home too.
You do?
I do. I give myself new bouquets all the time. But yeah, and Rachel, who owns
I am very impressed with you.
I know, I love flowers. But she was, Rachel was telling me a little bit more just about what they do down there at Blue Sky Flower Farm. And she's just wonderful, she and her family. And just, she teaches people how to do it. It was really cool.
Is it easy?
To grow them?
Yeah,
I
because
think,
I'm, you know me. I have
from seed can be a little more, intimidating and daring, I guess. But if you just get one of those baskets, they're all on super sale right now because garden centers are like, we gotta get rid of all this stuff. So you can still plant them and then have your own cut garden. And it's easy to just snip, snip.
Well, I didn't know you were a flower lover. Now if I want to give you a gift, I know to give you flowers.
I love flowers and I save the bees, all the pollinators.
Oh, look at you. Look at you, Nature Nelly.
Thank you.
I love it. To learn more about Blue Sky Flower Farm, check them out online. It's right on the bottom of your screen. The website is blueskyflowerfarm.com. That's great. It was really nice. And Dale K. You didn't really help him though, not to call you out.
Oh, I didn't help him at all.
But you didn't. You just kind of stood there.
No, I literally didn't move. I just was like, have fun.
Yeah.
It's
He
dirty
did
down
all the
there.
manual labor
Those
himself.
are not my garden jeans.
Yeah. Wow. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this. Stay with us, my friends. Back in a moment. Did you just say those are not my flower jeans?
My gardening
Your
jeans.
gardening jeans. Welcome back, friends. Thank you for being here on this Monday, kicking off a brand new week. Well, just a few weeks after I raved about the CNN series, The History of Late Night, the channel is doing it again, looking back at the history of the sitcom. This is an 8-part series that started a couple weeks ago, focusing on the birth of the 30-minute comedy. Look at this.
It was really I Love Lucy that kind of kicked it all off.
Desi and Lucy did not want to shoot live from New York City like everyone did. They wanted to live in Los Angeles and raise their family there.
Desi Arnaz was trying to tell my father about this brilliant idea he has about shooting a comedy with 3 cameras.
They're like, film in front of a live audience? This isn't done. You either do it live or you film it with setups. You don't do both.
It became the birth of the situation comedy.
Everyone.
Yeah, what's interesting about this is, and this has always been one of my favorite TV fun facts, is the fact that, and understandably so, Lucy gets the lion's share of the credit of the legacy of I Love Lucy. But the truth of the matter is, as far as business was concerned, it was really Desi that was the brains behind a lot of it. And as you just heard, Desi was the one that created the format of what we call the 3-camera shoot, which is still utilized today. Actually, the studio, this show right now is being shot in that same format. We have 3 cameras, a close-up for Kendall. This is my close-up, then a wide shot over here. There's my wide shot. Hello, hello. And then, but every show utilizes a version of Desi's 3-camera shoot, which was amazing. Now, the first episode of the history of sitcom really does take you quickly through just the basic history of how this art form, and it really is a very American art form, came to be, starting with I Love Lucy and showing the impact that that show had at the time and how that alone changed television. Women couldn't be pregnant on television, so Lucy had to wear clothes that was basically up to her neck, covering everything. They slept in separate beds, and it was really about the nuclear family. And then, that was 1951. You moved through the 60s. Television was a little saccharine. It was very, in the mid-60s, it was very fantasy. The I Dream of Genies and the Addams Family and stuff like that. So we go from I Love Lucy in the 50s to kind of a fantasy in the early 60s. And then TV starts to kind of reflect the counterculture that was happening in the late 60s. The tone of TV started changing. The families that you would see on TV started changing. It wasn't just mom, dad, 2 kids, and a dog, and the mom wearing, dresses all day long. TV started to reflect actual families. And it never more so than when CBS put on All in the Family. This changed not only television, but it really changed CBS. Before All in the Family debuted, CBS was an ocean of rural shows like Petticoat Junction and Green Acres and Beverly Hillbillies. And another one of my favorite behind-the-scenes facts about television is all of the shows I just listed, all these rural shows, were top 10 shows. But a new boss came into CBS and canceled them all in an effort to change the style of the CBS network. Well, All in the Family debuted, covering topics they had never explored on television: racism, homosexuality, and the race divide and class divide. You never saw that. You never, ever saw that on television until All in the Family with Norman Lear. And All in the Family led to spinoffs. It led to Maude. It led to it led to Good Times. It led to Gloria. And it really changed the face of television. And then after All in the Family in the late 70s, you found out situation comedies fell by the wayside as we entered the 80s. In the 80s, what became popular were cop shows and dramas like My Beloved Dallas. But that all changed in 1984 when the struggling NBC network debuted The Cosby Show. Now, obviously, I need to recognize that it is very odd nowadays talking about Bill Cosby, but we can remove him from this equation to say accurately, The Cosby Show revolutionized television. It changed television. As I said, the sitcom was deemed dead before NBC put The Cosby Show on in 1984 for a variety of reasons. It also depicted a black family, a successful black family. You had a doctor, you had a lawyer. That, I know it's hard to believe, that wasn't really reflected on primetime television until the Huxtables debuted. To Super Bowl-size audiences every single Thursday. I mean, it was really the birth of must-see TV, and you learn this in the documentary. It was The Cosby Show, followed by Family Ties, and then it was Night Court, and I'm missing one there in the middle. But it was the birth of must-see TV, and it all started with The Cosby Show. The history of sitcoms airs Sunday nights on CNN. There are 3 episodes. They cover different aspects of sitcoms, including sex in sitcoms, friends in sitcoms, and of course the family. You can see it on demand on your cable systems. Just search for CNN. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this. Back in a moment. Welcome back. You would enjoy, just because of how much we talk about it, you would enjoy the history of the sitcom on CNN.
I think I need to watch the late night one first.
The late night, watch both of them, yeah. It's both so good. I mean, you really, it makes you appreciate a form of television that we just kind of take for granted.
Right.
You know,
and how it came about.
Yeah, and its continued importance. You know, Home Improvement, Roseanne. Just the evolution of it. Right. Hey guys, welcome back. It was a great weekend to get outside and enjoy the beautiful summer days. We always love seeing what you do, what you did, so it's time for another Show Us Your Weekend. So here we go, Kendall. Leo, let's roll it. First up, Jessica. Now listen to this. Jessica has some great attitude this morning. Despite a rough start to her weekend, she says, I fell off a deck Thursday night and landed on my wrists. Multiple fractures and no use of my arms for 6 weeks later, I'm alive. Have a blessed week. Oh my goodness, what a great attitude. I would be a whiny brat.
He said it.
Yeah, I own it. But
that would be horrible.
Awful.
Glad she's okay.
Think about it. I mean,
right, you break your fall that way. I mean, that's just natural.
Awful.
Oof.
Next up, the Pride celebration took over Loring Park this weekend. Our buddy Christopher Straub had a booth in the park and shared this picture, thanking everyone for supporting the amazing vendors and entertainment. You can find all of his stuff on ChristopherStraub.com. Sabrina shared this picture saying, Happy Pride. Hi, Sabrina. Happy Pride to you. And Marilyn posted this picture saying, my daughter and her girlfriend's very first Pride. It's a big deal. I remember my first Pride in Loring Park. I lived right across from Loring Park when I first moved here, when I first came out.
Right.
And it was a big deal. It means a great deal. Several birthday celebrations over the weekend. Crystal says they celebrated her grandma's 94th birthday on Saturday. Look at Grandma. She does not look 94.
She looked good.
She has a pink ribbon, too. She won. Yeah. Gina had a Frozen-themed birthday for her little Elsa loving lady. Look at that party.
Cute.
Oh, my goodness. I want that party.
Me too.
Kendall, my birthday is coming up, just FYI.
Okay, we'll work on it.
Okay. And Amanda celebrated her daughter's 2nd birthday at Himker Park and Zoo in Freeport. She says her daughter loved feeding the giraffe named Prince.
Look at that tongue.
Oh, my goodness. I knew that they had a long tongue, but when you see it active in nature, that's quite substantial.
That's in nature.
That's a substantial, that's a substantial tongue. Yeah. Next up, Roxanne had a cabin family reunion this weekend with 5 families whose founding couples all have cabins near each other in northern Minnesota. Look at that family.
Cool.
Look at that. I wonder how they do like holiday gifts. I always wonder that with large families. Do you pull a name out of a hat? That's a lot of people to buy for. I don't know. Just ponder that.
It's true.
TJ and his family went to the cabin in Walker. He says his nephew Leo loves splashing in the water. Cute kid. Look at that kid.
Cute.
Hi, Leo.
Love Walker.
Good name. We know. Don't we know a Leo?
I think we know Leo.
Yeah. And Jonelle shared a picture pontooning down the Mississippi with family and great friends. Oh, I love a good pontoon. Becky was also out on the pontoon this weekend, spending some quality time with their grandson. How cute is that? Nothing better than a grandma and her grandson, believe me. It is also county fair season, Kendall. Were you at the fair this weekend?
No.
Okay. Amy hit up her local county fair and indulged in some cheesy goodness. She said they had.
It's you and me.
Look at that. They had cheese curds, cheese fries, and cheese right off the fingers. That's the way to do it, kids. Meanwhile, our buddy Linda got together with some of her retired teacher friends at a new spot in Lakefield, Minnesota. It's called Dudley's Garage. Look at that.
Oh, Linda.
We love Linda. Linda's the best. Nothing like good friends. And finally, congratulations to Sarah. Look at Sarah holding that money. She won twice at bingo in Anoka on Saturday. Look at her.
She's fanning herself with her money.
I know. Somebody, I will tell you, we were playing e-bingo, like on the e-machines, and somebody...
Thank you.
Well, no, oh, yeah. Anyway, and somebody won the $4,700 mini jackpot at a bar. Oh, yeah, in one of the bars in one of the bars in Minnesota, because it shows you who wins.
Yeah.
We were screaming. I was screaming the name of that bar, and I was like, curse you. Yeah, we were playing.
You won it.
Yeah, why didn't we win at long sighting? Anyway, Kendall, you were back in Red Wing. Shock of all shocks on Saturday night.
I know, shockingly, I was in Red Wing. But they do this really wonderful free concert series every summer. And this year, they had a last-minute addition because one of the bands pulled out. And it was Yam House. So we were freaking out. We were so excited. So my sister and I and my husband, Jordan, you just saw there, made the trip down to Red Wing to see them. I can't tell you how many people came up to me and we talked afterwards because people are like, oh, congratulations to your sister, blah, blah, blah. But how much they loved Yam House. So they were like, we were so surprised because there are these 20-somethings come on stage and everyone was like, they just are lovable. They're wonderful.
They're great guys. We know that. I mean, it's no secret to us, but yeah, they're the best. We love them. And they do, if you guys don't know, they do our theme song in the morning. I would show you pictures of my weekend, but it was just up at the cabin on the pontoon.
Well, and we already saw your one picture.
Oh, that's right. My thirst trap. And I've gained, Kendall, I looked again, I've gained 3 more followers. It's fantastic. I know, thank you, Jeff.
Eat your heart out,
I know.
Justin Timberlake.
I know, soon. I'm just a few over, almost 36,000. That's amazing.
You are like Martha Stewart.
Oh, no, Martha Stewart has 36 million.
Oh.
Yeah. We're going to take a break. We'll be back to wrap things up right after this. Stay with us. 36 million. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Hi. Okay. Hey, guys, you can stay connected with our show on social media. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Just search for Jason Show TV. And, of course, you can also follow our personal accounts as well. Kendall Mark and Jason Matheson. You okay there?
No.
Okay, let's do our bubblegum goodbye question here. If you could be in the Olympics, I'm just joking. I'm kidding. What's the nicest thing a teacher did for you in grade school? I don't know why you're laughing. What's the nicest thing a teacher did for you in grade school? We'll answer that question when we come back. Back in a moment, everyone. I don't know why you're laughing. You okay? Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. Okay. Nicest thing a teacher ever did for you?
I can't talk now.
Then I'll go while you compose yourself. I've told this story before, but I can't celebrate her enough. My 3rd grade teacher, Mrs. Freeze. She's on the Jason Show Facebook fan club. Mrs. Freeze was my 3rd grade teacher, and my mother and my grandmother and Mrs. Freeze make up the triangle of great women that affected my life the most. She changed the trajectory of my life because she realized that I didn't play sports, that I was being bullied, and to give me a creative outlet, she let us do The Wizard of Oz as a play, solely to give me an outlet. And it changed my life. I wouldn't literally be sitting here if it wasn't for Mrs. Freeze. You?
I don't have like a specific thing like that, but my 2nd grade teacher, Mrs. Sutherland, was like the most amazing human being. And she did teach us one thing that is funny. My husband thinks is funny to this day that I do. If you don't like something, you don't say, I don't like it. You say, no, thank you, that's not my favorite.
Oh, I like that.
I still say that about everything, and Jordan will be like,
oh,
it's not
no,
her
I
favorite.
like that, though.
He thinks it's cute.
Oh, the Jason Show. Oh, that's not my favorite. Yeah.
But yeah, she was wonderful.
That's a good lesson. I didn't mean to stop any there. That's
No,
a great lesson.
No, she was great. And Mrs. Raymond, high school English writing taught me that I was good, told me I was good at what I wanted to do, which was this.
Hey, nothing like a good teacher. They really, they have the power to change the trajectory of your life. Friends, tomorrow on the show, Jeff Timmons from 98 Degrees will join us. And at the same time, we'll simultaneously lock up our executive producer, Lori Fisher. Ted's recap of the latest Bachelorette as well. But right now, that's going to do it for us. If you're watching and you are a kid that's being bullied, go out there and be yourself, because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. Have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow, everyone.